What it do, baby? It's amateur hour exclusively on the Preachers and Sneakers YouTube channel. It's your boy BK. What's happening, my people? Fun fact, it's 5:50 in the morning because you know how they say the only time for yourself once you have a kid or even when you get married is to wake up super early? Well, this is me doing that, I guess, because this is like the one free hour of time I have in the day to do this kind of thing, anything creative or my own. And so it's 5:50 in the morning, and this might be the time I have to do this moving forward. So we'll see how 5 a.m. BK does with the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, this is the YouTube series where I talk about what I want, when I want, and we'll get angry emails from Christians regardless. So this has been real special. I recently started posting on Instagram and Twitter more regularly. For a while there, it was pretty sparse, but now I'm much more regular with it, and it's just been a real treat. I mean, if you're still mad that your pastor shows up on the Preachers and Sneakers page, you just need to take it and move on, man. I mean, I got an email this past week from somebody that was clearly new, smugly asking, have you considered how this page may look if you're a believer? I get these emails every week, and I just sit back and think, you know, after 3 years of doing this, you're the first person to point out how this may look to other Christians and non-Christians. This is the only time I've ever even considered or struggled with the implications of this account. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. After 3 years, you've finally broken through, had this revolutionary insight that maybe this account is controversial. I have to expect it once I start posting more regularly, because this is like, woe is me. But if I post more regularly, usually the algorithm gives me a little more love, and so sometimes I'll pop up on people's Discover page, that kind of thing. I'll hear from people that maybe haven't seen the account before, whatever. Just take it and move on, bro. Like, if you're still pissed that I'm doing this, man, you're going to be pissed for a long time. So yeah, it's 5:50 in the morning, but it's also December somehow. It's like the first week of December, and I guess Christmas is in a few weeks. My wife and I yesterday just used some money that we could have given to the poor to buy a Christmas tree and other holiday whimsy for the house. Really happy about it. Super festive guy that loves spending money on stuff that will literally die in 20 days. Hopefully it lasts longer than that, but give or take, it's going to die in like 20 days. At the same time, we're on the tail end of Thanksgiving. It's weird how quickly Thanksgiving and Christmas go back to back, but went to San Diego for like a week with the entire family, which was special. We flew with the baby. He's almost a year, so he's not really a baby anymore, I guess, but also is a baby at the same time. Flew with him to San Diego, which he actually flew fine, all things considered, for a baby traveling across time zones. But when we got there, he did not do great. He was great during the day, but he did not sleep well because of the changing time zones, the changing in setting, and it was hardly relaxing. It was great for everybody else to see the super cute baby, but it was hardly relaxing for us. So it's awesome spending that much money for it to for us to sleep every hour and a half or so in the middle of the night and then wake up each time. But happy to be back home in our space, in our own bed, and thankfully get the baby back on a routine. Overall, Thanksgiving was fun. It just wasn't exactly relaxing. Happy to be back on YouTube with all of you YouTube watchers, all 20 of you. Man, there's been a lot of things that have been going on in the world that I've wanted to talk about. Most recently, this guy has a way of always making a headline, and I guess I don't know if that's for better or for worse. And the guy seems like a genuinely nice dude. He does have some major red flags. This story just, even if you think about it, it's not maybe that big of a deal, but it's just ridiculous. The headline writes itself. The story is just too perfect. It's too righteous gemstones for anybody to avoid. That was this past week, Joel Osteen's church. There was a news story that came out that said a plumber called into a radio station and told this bombshell story that he found a stash, like a huge stash of envelopes filled with cash and checks at Joel Osteen's church in Houston. And this sounds made up. Like, this sounds like somebody would make it up just to get some maybe radio time, I guess, for entertainment. I don't know. But the Houston police confirmed it. Officers were called to the church last month after church members stated that during a renovation project, a large amount of money, including cash, checks, and money orders, found inside a wall. Did I say that? It's 5:50 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning now. The stash of envelopes was found in a wall behind a toilet. They think it's connected to this robbery that happened in 2014. Envelopes, or I guess money, was stolen from a safe from Lakewood Church, including $200,000 in cash and $400,000 in checks. The Houston police confirmed evidence from the recovered checks suggests this November case is connected to the 2014 reported theft. Not a great theft, if you ask me. I guess if you steal from a place and then just hide it at the place of which you stole it from, pretty stupid. But the plumber, I don't think, kept any of it unless there was only a select amount of envelopes that they found. You know, if I'm a plumber finding said stash behind a toilet at a mega church, I don't know. I don't know if Jesus is done with me there, because, you know, plumbers, I guess, as an industry make a lot of money, but if you're an individual plumber, maybe working for a larger company, it might be kind of tempting to dip your old toe in the offering plate. Hundreds of people sent this to me because it's just like, this looks terrible. It looks like this church has so much money that they're stashing it in the walls. It's not true, but people don't want to think that far into it. They see the headline, they connect it with Joel Osteen being a super mega prosperity gospel church, and it's just like, all right, they've got money literally in the walls, and the police are confirming it. You know, I think the details in the story said that Lakewood was cooperating and like helping with the investigation stuff because clearly they didn't know that there was cash. I mean, maybe not clearly, but they're saying they didn't know that there was cash in the walls. But yeah, that was a real choice story that I definitely wanted to comment on Amateur Hour. In the sneaker world, this is kind of taking a turn, but the sneaker world was shocked to find out this past week that a designer and creator of Off-White, as well as a top design exec, not sure how you classify his title, at LVMH, which is the holding company for Louis Vuitton. I guess it stands for Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. This is like the most powerful brand holding company in the world. Virgil Abloh passed away this week from a very rare form of cancer called cardiac angiosarcoma. He died at 41, leaves a family, and this was a huge deal. And it's easy to talk in superlatives when somebody passes away. But Virgil Abloh was, I think a lot of people would call him a revolutionary, or at least he made some revolutionary contributions to fashion, design, streetwear, sneakers. I mean, this man touched every type of high fashion, high design, forward-thinking art. He was a DJ at night while also literally being an exec at one of the largest, most valuable brands in the world. And if you follow Preachers and Sneakers at all, you see his sneakers pop up on the page all the time. All of his Off-White collabs with Jordan Brand and even his individual Off-White sneakers show up all the time. Some of his sneakers resell for the most. I mean, this man, everything he touched turned to gold, and so it was a pretty sad loss for the sneaker community. And the sneaker community doesn't own him, but he made some contributions to the space that so many others started imitating after. I mean, his biggest splash, I would say, within sneakers was when he did the Jordan Brand collab with, you know, the Off-White Chicago 1s, the Off-White Air Max 97s, you know, that original run of Off-White Nike collabs. It's just a real shame to lose him that soon because he was continuing to innovate and recreate things that were stale and made things within fashion and design and sneakers a lot more interesting. There was this quote from the New York Times, Vanessa Friedman, that wrote a good article about him, and then there was a paragraph that I really liked. For him, clothes were not garments, but fungible totems of identity that sat at the nexus of art, music, politics, and philosophy. He was a master of using irony, reference, and the self-aware wink, plus the digital world, to recontextualize the familiar and give it an aura of cultural currency. It's an awesome paragraph. Way better writing. If she doesn't already, she deserves a book way more than I do. But yeah, Virgil Abloh gone too soon, man. I was really sad to learn that. Even though it's like, I can't claim to be an OG sneakerhead or high fashion dude. I mean, look at me. You know, you at least have to respect a guy that's able to make waves in a space that is dominated or maybe saturated. Like, it's pretty hard to stand out these days in streetwear and in design and fashion and all that kind of stuff, and he made a mega splash. I mean, he's got connections to Kanye West. He's got connections to Rich Wilkerson Jr. I mean, so he like spanned a lot of different spaces. Like I even think he was a Christian. Rich Wilkerson Jr. is talking like he was. Sad to hear about Virgil. Also in the sneaker world, going back to sneakers, December is usually a crazy month for sneaker releases. Yes, that's a terrible transition to talking from Virgil to sneaker releases, but also, like I said, this is amateur hour. For the golf players out there that I wish I could be, Nike is bringing a Air Max 97 golf variation with some zebra stripes that if I played golf, I would be on these in a second. Again, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I've had one cup of coffee. Nike Air Max 97G Zebra, $190, releasing this month in 2022. Sorry, not this month, spring of 2022. And you can check out the pic here. Bing. Those are going to be an instant comp if you're a golf player. Speaking of Kanye, this is what I was trying to say. Yeezy always has a ton of releases in December. Today, actually, Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Compact Slate Blue. That's like a Flyknit. I mean, I guess Yeezys are already made kind of Flyknit, but these are like a more elastic version of the Yeezy 350 V2. I don't know. I mean, they look like they're probably comfy, but I'm probably not copping these. A couple new versions of the foam runners, and like these colorways, the shoes look stupid. I mean, they're like Yeezy Crocs, but the colorways look pretty cool. Sand gray foam, moon gray foam. Those actually look pretty dope. Although they also look like they just kind of like threw bleach at them. Couple Yeezy 450s, dark slate. Like these, I don't know who pulls these off because these look like they're being consumed by one of those aliens from that Apple show Invasion. If y'all watched Invasion yet, you'll get it once you watch it. But the Yeezy 450 resin and dark slate are coming out December 17th. The Yeezy basketball knit 3D slate blues are coming out December 18th. Those look ridiculous. I don't know why you would ever wear Yeezy to play basketball. You're definitely going to break an ankle. Apparently the Yeezy Boost V2 Beluga RFs are coming out December 18th. I don't know if that's a re-release. That's definitely a re-release. A reflective Beluga Yeezy. Those are going to resell for a ton. Anything reflective always resells for more. Yeezy Boost V2 MX Rock, which is a pretty dope colorway. The re-release of the Blue Tint 350 V2s on December 22nd. And then finally the Yeezy Boost Metallics. How do you say that? In the Yeezy Boost 700s, Metallics, MNVN. How are you supposed to say that? What's that stand for? It's releasing sometime in December for $220. A lot of interesting Yeezys coming out in the month of December. And not to be outdone, given that Jordan and Yeezy are always vying for the top spot in terms of most popular sneaker brand. Here are the releases, according to Sneaker News, for December. Air Jordan 1 collab, December 3rd. Those already came out for $200. And those are pretty clean. It's like a vintage vibe with a maroon. Is that like snakeskin swoosh, it looks like, maybe? Those are pretty clean. The Gore-Tex Jordan 1s, for those that actually experience snow throughout the year. It snowed here in Dallas once last year. That's the thing with Texas. It won't snow, but when it does snow, it'll murder the entire infrastructure for a week. The Air Jordan 1 Low bread toes. So bread toe lows for $100 December 8th. I might have to actually come through on those. Those are actually pretty sick. Okay, I never give any time to mids. I never give any space or thought to Jordan 1 mids, as most sneakerheads do not. But the Air Jordan 1 mid ugly Christmas sweater releasing December 9th for $105, bro. These actually look pretty tight, at least to just wear for your ugly sneaker party, or your ugly sneaker. Every day is your ugly sneaker party. Wear for your ugly sweater party for Christmas. These actually look pretty dope right here. The Jordan 11 Cool Grays are re-releasing. People are going to freak. This is what I don't get. Like, these Jordan 11 re-releases are general releases. Thousands of pairs come out, but people will literally go stand in line at the mall and fight. Literally fight for a Jordan 11 GR re-release when you can just go to StockX and basically pay retail for them the day of, because there's so many pairs. I don't get why people freak out about these shoes. I get why people like them. I could never pull them off. But they are not worth standing in line for. No way, dude. What else? The Soulfly Air Jordan 1 Lows sometime in December for $150. He's got a kind of an interesting, is that a camo pattern, I guess? Red, black, and tan. It's either like a animal print or a camo or both. I can't completely tell. You decide. Some interesting colorway. The Jordan 1 Archeo Brown, December 18th. That's a high. That actually looks pretty clean. I don't know what those go with. They're brown, green, purple, gray, and black. It's almost like the Jordan 1 Bubblegum. Those are actually pretty clean. I mean, it's a women and kids release, but super light pink. Those are actually pretty clean. And then finally, December 30th. I don't know why they're doing this, but the Jordan 1 patent bread. Oh, this is so annoying. Just re-release the bread ones. Do not put these in a patent leather. Nobody can pull off patent leather. It's like, so in the Marines, we wore these black dress shoes that were patent leather. They call them core fams. It's this shiny, like very easily cleaned material. They're putting it on one of the most iconic Jordan 1 highs, and it's just a waste of a release. They'll probably sell out because it's a bread colorway. Anything in an OG silhouette in a bread colorway is going to sell out, but patent leather, bro, come on. So that was sneakers. In the world of sports, college football's basically over, and I don't like the feel of it. You know, Arkansas beat Mizzou at the last game of the season, and we're headed to the Outback Bowl in Tampa against Penn State, apparently. That would be a really fun game to go to, just because to travel to go see Arkansas in a different setting would be pretty cool, and we'll probably crush Penn State. I mean, I don't know anything about Penn State, but Arkansas is playing pretty well. We almost beat Alabama. We put a bunch of points up on Alabama, which is like the most like desperate Arkansas fanboy take. I mean, Alabama crushes, but we actually put up a lot of points on Alabama, which I was pretty proud of. Speaking of, there was just a super fun SEC championship between Georgia and Alabama, and all of us were rooting for Georgia to win because Alabama is such a tired storyline, but they beat Georgia handily and are on to the playoffs, cemented into the playoffs with an SEC championship. But the interesting thing is Georgia lost the SEC championship and is still in the college football playoffs. So there's a chance that these two teams play each other again, maybe, or at least Georgia's season isn't over, which is crazy. So nothing matters. I mean, the SEC championship basically doesn't matter because both of those teams are in the playoffs. Whatever. In the entertainment side, there's like so much good TV right now. And I guess my wife and I, this is like the one thing we can find to do. It's at least relaxing, doesn't cost money, or doesn't cost a ton of money, and also doesn't involve going out. And so we end up watching a lot of TV because it takes an eternity to get this baby down, and we got to be home to make sure to feed him and all that kind of stuff. And so our hobbies are limited right now, but we're watching a ton of good TV. And there's debate. Like, if you're a never watch anything with any controversial content in it, then you're going to think none of this TV is good. But agree to disagree, I guess. But Succession Season 3 has come out, and it's like we're in the middle of it right now. And that show has potentially some of the best writing of all time. I don't know who all the writers are on the show, but I know one of them is one of the creators of the show, Veep. And some of the writing is similar in that it's so well done, and it is so intelligent the way they write, but it's also can be very crude at times. It's an interesting mix and makes for a show that the show could probably be a podcast, really. Like, just the dialogue alone, you could almost just listen to it and be fully entertained without the visuals. But the visuals too, I mean, the show is outstanding. The characters are outstanding. The settings are outstanding. It's super dope. And at the same time, and on a completely different part of the country, Yellowstone Season 4 is currently progressing, and that show might be my favorite show of all time. It might be the greatest TV show of all time, which is a lofty statement, sure, but it has everything. Yellowstone, I mean, it's got amazing acting, amazing dialogue. The setting is crazy in Montana, just like the most ideal dream fantasyland setting in the mountains of Montana. This whole Western vibe to it. There's a modern crime element to it. Somehow they have put everything that you could want in a TV show in one, and they've made 4 seasons of it, and it's not tired, and it's actually getting better. The creator, Taylor Sheridan, lives around here, I think, or he lives somewhere in Texas, North Texas, I believe. It's the same guy that created Sicario, and he's actually in the show. Really impressed with this guy, that he's an actor, but also created this show that checks so many boxes for so many people. So check it out. Of course, it's not VeggieTales, like it's not always wholesome, but it's entertaining, and it gives you a look into a world that is often, I don't know, you just get to see a world like ranch culture that seems realistic-ish, like it's realistic-ish, and it just makes for an entertaining show. So I'll shut up about it, but check it out, Yellowstone Season 4. Either have to get Paramount Plus or the Paramount Network on cable or whatever. There's ways to watch it. So no excuses. There's probably some other things that I could talk about. You know, I usually talk about some video games. I mean, Halo Infinite, the multiplayer released, and it's super fun. I've been playing that in my 8 minutes of free time. Like, you know, I guess that's part of what I can do if I wake up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning is drop in on some Halo for pwn some noobs for a few minutes. But just prepping for Christmas, trying to close out some last minute deals on the corporate side within my real big boy job. And yeah, trying to head into the new year with some new content. I might do some merch. I don't think I'll have some merch done by Christmas time, but maybe heading into the new year, I'll do some new merch if there's demand for it. So let me know. in the comments, on socials. Let me know if you're interested in more merch. Thanks for watching this episode of Amateur Hour on the Preachers and Sneakers YouTube channel. Really appreciate you spending all this time with me and for subscribing, hitting the like button for me, and also following on Instagram and Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. Although I haven't really made anything on TikTok, but it's one of those things in the back of my head. It's like, I'm going to do it. I just need to feel inspired at some point to make some content there. So appreciate you following on all the channels and subscribing and checking out the book especially, and, watching this new format. More to come, and stay tuned and check out the next episode of Amateur Hour on the Preachers and Sneakers YouTube channel. Peace.